What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Yes, I got a haircut. No, I don't know. I couldn't think of something clever to say. Welcome to Whoop Wednesday. We are going to finish up our motor testing tonight. Let me just close this out here. Kevin Sumner, Frank Nicholas, Notice, Cloudhopper, Juicy JFPV, Elo the Kidson, Freelo, Joe Doubles FPV, Scotty Scott, Tongue Out, Tom Johnson, Cos 1973, Northern Tier, and Weebleed FPV. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. If you want me to say your name, either just tag me and ask a good question, or get your ass in here early and say hi. I'm going to be farting around down here, unplugging motors. Well, okay, so hold on. Let me check something. I'm about to remove 2 iGal motors. They tested the way that I would expect them, though, right? Yeah, 44 to 52 is what I'm looking at. Just kind of trying to get this going here. 52, 44, yep, and then 60 to 65. Okay, cool. So yeah, I can remove these 2 iGal. Wait, I shouldn't remove the one. 30,000 didn't perform right with the prop on, so I should leave the 30,000 kV, but I can remove the 27. Cool. Let's retest them both. We'll retest them both. That's fine. Tonight we're going to be finishing up this motor torque production spreadsheet that we started working on Spreadsheet Sunday a few days ago, and yeah, I was hoping to get it finished up off the stream, but it's been like absolutely ridiculously busy, and so here we are. We'll finish it up on the stream. Hey, is anybody still running PH 2.0 batteries? If so, do you have a use for the flying sandal? This is just floating around. For somebody, this is going to be perfect. This is how you can charge Tiny Whoop batteries from your big boy charger, and you can actually figure out what the hell the internal resistances are on your Tiny Whoop batteries. It acts like this is a 4S battery, so you put 4 Tiny Whoop batteries on here, and then it acts like an actual 4-cell, and you just charge it regular. So yeah, let me know. If you want it, it's yours. Just pay shipping. Okay. Let's get right into it. Sleepy CBR tagged me and said, hello, gang. RT McKinney said, hope you enjoyed the goodies I sent down to you. Yeah, RT McKinney sent 2 big-ass boxes with tons of really, really, really good stuff. Frank Nicholas and RT McKinney have set me up in a way that like giveaways for the next year are going to be fucking awesome. So shout out to both of those beautiful bastards for doing that. It's super 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 cool of them. So yeah, if you win a giveaway, you know who to thank. Okay, so this sheet is taking a look at the actual RPM that a whole bunch of different tiny whoop motors will spin without a propeller on and then with a propeller on. We're going to do a couple more tests with the 1210, the Gemfan 1210 biblade. I have drilled a couple of these out to have a 1.5 millimeter motor shaft. And so, yeah, we're going to just do a couple retests basically here. And then we're going to switch over to the Gemfan 1610 1.6 inch biblade, and we're going to test a bunch of these bigger motors. I tested the bigger motors on the little tiny propellers. It makes a lot of sense to also test them on the big boy propeller, and it's actually going to be really cool to see how they do on the smaller, less draggy propeller versus the bigger, more draggy propeller. So I'm actually super interested to see the different KVs of 0802, how they perform on the bigger prop. And so one of the weird things that happened in the testing once I got to the high KV 802s is that they started making less power as the KV went up, even though it's a tiny little propeller, which kind of makes no sense. So I think maybe something was going on. Maybe the C-clip was rubbing against this frame I've drilled out already. Maybe I hadn't drilled the frame out by then. I don't know. We're going to retest and try to figure it out. I was getting a little bit fast and loose with the testing, and I was only like testing one motor at a time. And of course, that's when this started happening. So right now, for example, I'm screwing in a second 0802 33,000 kV motor because the one that I tested previously, it did not perform right. There was something going on for sure. Test setup is Toolkit RC P200 adjustable power supply, which is hooked up to, which is set up to output 4 volts directly to a BT 2.0 lead. That is then hooked up to a 2G4. I've been using the exact same AIO the entire time. When we go to the 1.6 inch propellers, we are going to switch to a different AIO, but it's still a 2G4. And I am going to test, I think I already have tested a couple of motors on, no, I haven't, but we are going to test the same prop, the same motor on this 2G4 as we have on this 2G4 to make sure that they turn the exact same RPM with the prop on and the prop off. This is making sure that, like, yeah, once we go up to the 1.6 inch prop, this AIO is not acting funny, or this AIO hasn't been acting funny. So yeah, that'll be a super easy thing to test. I can just unbolt from here, drop it onto there, leave the prop on, and yeah, so cool. Pequeño Frijole says, I got my 2mm Rennie screws for that cockroach frame. A full set is wow. A full set is 0.04 grams. The stock screws are 0.4 grams. That's 0.36 gram savings. That's a lot. I am still not down for the Rennie screws. When they break, when they strip, it's just a total pain in the ass. And I crash a lot really hard. For those of you that don't crash as often and don't crash as hard as I do, congratulations. The Rennie screws and the Peak screws are awesome, and you're gonna love them. But yeah, I had a bad experience with them, and I'm really just not willing to run them anymore. CiottiFPV.com is the website where you can support me. There's links all over the place. Patreon helps me out the most, and you get the most benefit. There's also an Etsy store where you can buy some fun stuff, and there's a whole bunch of new stickers coming to the Etsy store. There's a Fiverr page where you can work one-on-one with me if you want to really learn some shit, answer all those questions that you haven't had answers to forever, and you go on Facebook and you get wrong answers to, and that makes you burn shit and fuck yourself up and just hate life generally. That's a bit much. And then there's a whole bunch of affiliate links over there as well. If you're doing an order on the internet, someone has an affiliate link to that website. Wouldn't it be nice if that person had a little bit more money to test more stuff so that you waste less money? It's the full circle of life, my friends. Help those of us out that are testing shit. Use affiliate links. It's free money. It doesn't affect you in any way. Change your bookmarks to someone's affiliate links. That way you don't have to remember to use them. If you don't use bookmarks and you use the URL bar and you just start typing the name of the website you want to go to, you can remove the common suggestion that it's going to give you. Remove all of the suggestions when you start typing AMA for Amazon, and then hit someone's affiliate link for Amazon a few times, and your browser will remember that, and when you type AMA, it'll go to that person's affiliate link. Just Mo says, nice haircut. Thank you, brother. Okay, so this motor is bolted down. Squishing this prop on here. Ooh, that's going to suck to get off. Oh, well. We're good. 30,000. I'm going to retest 27. Okay, cool. So here's how it works. We fire up beta flight. We fire up beater flight. And we wait a while because it takes forever. And we wait even longer because it continues to take forever. And we just wonder why beta flight always used to open so quick and now is so goddamn slow. And then we look over at chat. Reno Rolla says, I can't find any RunCam Nano 3s in stock anywhere. I checked RunCam's website and they listed it as discontinued. Thoughts? Every once in a while I'll find them. But yeah, they're hard to find. I think GetFPV still has the... it's like the Nano Hawk edition. So search for it on GetFPV's website. You're going to have to direct solder it. But it's, yeah, better than nothing. All right. So we are going to plug into this 2G4 here. And there we are with that. All right. And so we're going to test props on first, and then I'm going to pull the props, and we'll test it props off. But they're on right now, so we might as well test that first. Let me just pull this up here so I can hang this off the edge of the desk. And all right, so we're going to connect, and we're going to go to the motors tab. And the first thing I want to do is make sure all of the motors are spinning in the correct direction. When you spin a prop backwards, it is not love and life. Oops. All right, sending the little tiny whoop 4 volts from the power supply. It has fired up. We're going to stop the motors. We're going to start and spin. Hold on, something weird. I did this all out of order. Motor direction. I understand the risks. Wizard, start and spin. Why is motor 1 not spinning? Because I didn't plug it in. Yep, didn't plug it in. Damnedest thing. You wouldn't believe what happened when I didn't plug this motor in. Imagine wondering why the motor is spinning when you haven't plugged it in. There we go. Motor 1 is going the wrong way. Click it to reverse it. There we go. Motor 3 is also going the wrong way. I bet you this is why the previous testing was screwed up. I bet you the motors are going the wrong direction. Motor 2 is also wrong. Now it's right. I think I just figured out what was going on with this rig. I believe the motors were spinning in the wrong direction. They do not like that. All right, all 4 motors are now... Are they? Yeah, they are. All 4 motors are now spinning in the right direction. Stop! Close. No, that was not the problem before. That was not the problem. I would have checked that. All right, so this test with the props on, we do at full tilt because we want to see how hard this motor can push this propeller in a loaded situation where it's being held down. This is a little bit different than when it's in the air and it can start moving, but that's okay. Motor 1, 64,900. So I'm going to call that 65. Motor 2. Come on. 60. Sat right there at 60. That's not right. That's weird. We're going to have to test another one of those motors. Motor 3. Oh. Right at 60. That's not right. What the hell? And then motor 4. Right at 60. Wow, that's super weird. Super, super, super weird. Let me see something, though. What's the... No, the voltage sags down to 3.8 every time. Yep, sags down to 3.8. It's actually going a little bit below 3.8, but it's pretty close to 3.8. That is super weird. Motor 1 is an iGao 0802 27,000. And it winds all the way up to 65,000. Motor 2 is a home-built 0802 30,000. Motor 3 is a home-built 802 33,000, as is motor 4. That sucks. Well, so this is all right. 65, 60, 60. 65, 60, and 60. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. This right here is what doesn't make sense. This 27,000 kV iGao motor winding all the way up to 65,000 with the prop on doesn't make sense. Because the 802 25,000 could only turn 60. And then the 30,000 and the 33,000 also could only turn 60. This is the weird one right here. But you know what's also super weird is that these 702s are turning more RPM with the prop on than these 802s. That is super weird. Super, 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 super weird. I don't get that at all. Maybe... No. No, I don't get that at all. I don't get it. Okay, so... All right. The 30,000 kV motors here and the 33,000 kV motors here. I have taken the stator. Those were 1mm motor shaft motors. I took the bells off and I swapped them with iGao bells from the 0802 27,000s. And they are kind of underperforming, or the iGao motor is overperforming. I don't need to test these actual motors here anymore. So I'm going to take these guys off, and I'm going to test one more of the 30,000 kVs, because I've only tested one of those so far. I think I'm going to test one more 33,000 kV. And then I'm going to test another one of the iGao 27,000s, because maybe this one iGao 27,000 is hot. Every once in a while, when you get a set of motors, when you spin them up like this, one of them makes noticeably more RPM, and that's okay. The PID loop will take care of that. That's totally fine. And maybe that's what's getting us here. It would make way more sense if the iGal motor would turn 60,000 RPM. And so let's check that. Here are the two 33s that are off. I'm actually going to pull... I guess I'm going to pull all the motors from this. So... You know what? There is a chance that I mixed some of these motors up. Here, these should be 0802 27,000s. I'm going to put them on here and see what happens. These might be the 33,000s right here. I have two sets of these blue 0802 iGal motors. The very first run of iGal 802 27,000s at tinywhoop.com were blue. And I snagged one set, and then I came on one of these live streams and I said, hey, does anybody have a set of the iGals in blue? I want to make a 33,000 kV version from the Amoptera, which has a blue stator, and I want it to match. And one of you beautiful bastards said, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I'll send them to you. And so then I took those apart, took the Amoptera 0802 33,000s apart, and I swapped them. And I'm pretty sure I didn't screw this up, but we're about to find out. We're about to learn a bunch, actually. So let me get this screwed down here. For anybody that's come in a little bit late, I have this flying sandal board that needs a good home. This is, but you got to still be running PH 2.0. So if anybody is still running PH 2.0, you put 4 Tiny Whoop batteries on here, and then you plug it into your big boy charger, and it thinks it's a 4S battery. And then you can get your internal resistances and whatnot. You could probably desolder. You could almost certainly desolder these and solder on a set of BT 2.0s. So, but yeah, I need this to go somewhere. I refuse to. I don't want to just give this away because I know it'll end up with somebody that doesn't want it. So somebody specific needs this, and yeah, message me. I'll send it to you. Okay, so I've got 2 more blue iGal motors now hooked up on here, which should mirror the performance of this purple iGal motor, 27,000 kV 802, that for some strange reason is turning 65,000 RPM with the prop on, which I'm really struggling to understand. So this will hopefully shed some light on what the hell's going on here. I'm switching all 4 of these motors right now because I've just doubled up the testing. You know what is nice too is that we also just confirmed that this test is kind of dialed in. Like that pulled the exact same RPM that it did the other day. So yeah. That's a good thing. I'm desperately looking for a silver lining here, friends, if you haven't noticed. This is the 30 that I'm pulling off, and then this is the 27. All right. So I was hoping that Rosser's video with actual thrust stand data for Tiny Whoop motors would be out by now. But I guess he needs a little bit longer to get that knocked out. I would rather him take all the time he needs and include more motors and really dive into it, because it's so great when he does a bunch of testing, but then like he moves on and tests different stuff, and like a lot of times a bunch of us like have a bunch of feedback, but like he's already moved on. So yeah. Okay. here are these. I need to pull these. I only have one set of these GemFan 1210s that I've drilled out to 1.5 mil shaft. They don't seem to be all that well balanced, if I'm honest, but they haven't exploded or anything like that. The GemFan 1210s have a great big thick solid hub to the propeller, and because of that, you can drill them out from 1 millimeter all the way up to 1.5, which is kind of cool. Oh boy, this prop is on here. Oh shit. Tiny Shark is thinking of building a 2S 75mm whoop. Are the Happy Model 802 19,000 motors what you recommend? No! I've only tested 2 different motors so far because the AIO shit the bed. Unrelated to the motors or anything like that. It shit the bed because I did something stupid during the build and a pad broke off. But yeah, of the 2 motors that I've run, well, no, I've run 3 motors. I tried a 1002 22,000, and that was totally fine. I had to motor limit the shit out of it, but it was completely fine. And then I tried a 1002 either 18 or 19,000. It's the T-motor. T-motor makes a 1002 that is either 18 or 19,000 kV. That motor was awesome. And then I tested the Happy Model 802 19,000. And it was okay. It wasn't nearly as good as the 1002. But yeah, I did that test because I know that a lot of people have Happy Model 802 19,000s floating around, because those are the motors that came on the old school Mobula 6 for a long time. So yeah, there's a bunch more motors that are going to get tested. But I'll be honest, the T-motor 1002 18,000 kV, I would not be surprised if that ends up being the best motor for that setup. Just in terms of like what I've learned about motors, what I know about motors, some of this testing here is also kind of feeding into that. And yeah, it just kind of makes sense. 1002 seems to be a really good motor size for 1.6 inch props. Not too big, not too small. I kind of wish we had like I'm really looking forward to maybe some 0803s in the future. It would be cool if we had like a 902. I don't know. We'll see. Shit. Which one is which? Okay, this is the one that I'm taking off. All right. So this is a 33,000 kV Frankenstein motor. Who are your friends? All right. There we go. Okay, so I've got 2 kind of sort of mystery motors. Not really. This guy goes back on there. This is 30,000 kV. Home built 802. Where does this guy go? Where are this motor's friends? Where have this motor's 3 friends gone? What? Oh, no, they're over here. They're over here. Yep. And then this guy goes back into this container. I'm going to take another regular old purple current generation iGao 0802 27,000, and I'm going to put it right where that one was, and hopefully it turns 60,000 instead of 65,000. If it turns 65,000 again, then I think what we've learned is that there's something magical about the current generation of 802 27,000 kV iGao motors, and they make more power than 30,000 kV and 33,000 kV, which is weird, but not that weird. This is the one that I tested here. Let's sneak this back in. And then that's all that I wanted to. I think other than that, we're good. Yeah, I've tested everything else, and like the numbers on everything else make sense. So I don't really feel like I need to retest any of these other motors. I feel like the way that these things ramped up with the KV makes sense. So yeah, I can. No, I'll just test 3 motors. It's fine. It's fine. Wait, no. I do want to test one more of the 30,000. Yep. We're good. Okay, so I want to test one more 30,000 kV. Where's it going to be? On motor number 1. So I'm going to pull it from this corner here. Okay. Martin Tanley says, I think the 2G4 is back in stock at Pyro. There were like 30 or 40 or 50 of them in stock over at GetFPV. Did you guys buy them all already? Kevin Sumner says, tell the people that Pyro has 35 2G4 in stock right the F now. There you go. Thank you, brother. Tiny Shark also says, any downsides to just using 2 1S 300 mAh batteries versus going BT 3.0? The problem is going to be, how do you hold those batteries securely? I have not figured out a way. I mean, I guess you could just do a rubber band, but I try not to do that. But yeah, no real downsides. I actually really like that setup. And Beta FPV is selling the little pigtails that you need to do that again, which is really nice. I mean, they're super easy to build for yourself, but if you don't want to, yeah, you can just snag one off of Beta FPV at this point, which is pretty rad. All right, so I'm taking another one of these home-built 802 30,000s off, and we're going to back that testing up here. And I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm excited. And then we're going to move over to 1.6 props. We're going to swap over to this Mobula 7 V4 frame, and yeah. And the first thing I'm going to do is take all 4 of these motors off here with the 1210 bi-blades, drop them onto there, and fire them up and see if there's any difference on that 2G4 versus this one. So, Curtis Hayes says, is it bad that I like flying my Hummingbird with stock Happy Model 802s and 4-blade HQ prop 1.2 by 1.3 by 4s? Nah, man. You do you. That's why I tell everybody to buy all the props and try all the props, because everybody's different. Yeah, props are like tires on cars. They perform wildly different from each other, but they make a huge difference. Like, they're the thing that you can do that will change the performance of that whatever thing the most. So yeah, buy all the props, friends. You'll spend like $20 whole to get all the Tiny Whoop props. And yeah, you might find an oddball that you really like, and that's okay. I mean, it means that you're a super weird person, but we stand around in parking lots flying semi-autonomous helicopters. That's pretty goddamn weird by itself. Okay, putting power to it. Oh shit! I forgot to test those motors with the props off, but that's actually oh no, yeah, I really wanted to do that. Well, I'll do it here. I'll do it with these ones. I basically have the same 4 motors on here, and yeah. All right, so I'm gonna erase that, and we're gonna fire up Betaflight here. And we need to get them spinning the correct direction again, because they're wired differently. 2 of them are not spinning. Not a good sign. One of them is not plugged in. That would explain that one. The other one is plugged in. What's going on with you, little buddy? Why are you unhappy? Maybe it was hanging up on the motor wire? Hold on. Let's see here. Start and spin motors. Yeah. I can feel it hanging up. It's hanging up on the frame, actually. Oh, God. Come on now. Hold on. What's happening with motor 1? What do you... Oh, it's trying to spin. Why is it... It's like binding up. What are you binding up on? Motor number 1. Why are you being a jerk? Let's try it again. What the hell? Motor 1! Come on. Come to life, little friend. Come on, little buddy. That's not great. What's happening there, little buddy? Having a hard time? Having a tough day today? Why is there so much resistance on that motor? If I can get it to spin, it'll clear out whatever weirdness is going on. All right, hang on. I gotta investigate this a little bit here. Okay, what's happening? Is the C clip catching on the thing? On the inside of the thing? It sure is. I think. Is it? Maybe not. Hold on. Come on now, little friend. Be cool. Arr, arr, arr. All right, so there is a little piece of plastic in there, but it looks like it's kind of out of the way. One would think that it was... Yeah, no, that's fine. Plastic frames, man, what a pain in the ass. But they are obviously the way. A necessary evil. Alright, so there's no way that that's rubbing on there. It's still very hard to spin this motor. What the fuck is going on? Woot the fook! Yeah, it is. This motor is not loving life. Like, I can just feel when I spin the motor that there's way more resistance than there should be. Anything going on in the windings? Windings look okay. What the hell? Okay, well, let me try this. Let me loosen the screws up on the motor and see if that changes anything. So just break them loose a little bit. 1, 2, 3. And let's see if that helps. Yep, that helps. Something's going on when I crank these screws down. Let me just try to really barely tighten these screws. Just super finger loose. Okay, is that better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right, we good. Back to work. Okay, plugging in USB, plugging in power, and away we shall go. Okay, let's try this again. Motors are happy. Let's get them spinning in the right direction. That's good stuff. All right, motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is correct. It's smacking on something, though. What is it hitting? What is it? What are you hitting? What the hell is this hitting? Whatever. Motor 3 is spinning correctly. Motor 4 is spinning incorrectly. Stop motors. Fire them up here. All right. Whoa! What was that? Uh-oh. That was weird. Let's try that again. Motor 2 is super unhappy with life. He's self-clearancing, but he's not loving life. What are you so pissed off about, Motor 2? What is your deal? What are you hitting on? Oh my god, I keep making it worse. How am I making it so much worse? What is it hitting on? Like, I'm looking right at it and there's... Oh, it's hitting out here? Oh, now that's a weird place for it to be contacting. What is that about? That's super weird. Now it's fixed, though. Yep, now it's fixed. Wasn't there another one that was hitting, though? Nah, they're all fine. Okay, motor 1, which is, it should be 30,000 kV. Let's see. Motor 1. 65,000. Why? What the hell was that noise? Oh, God, that's it eating the propeller. Not the propeller, the, antenna. Son of a bitch. Okay. Oh my god, 70. Jesus. Okay. There was something wrong with those other motors, or they were screwed down weirdly. Alright, this is making more sense. Motor 2, which is a regular iGal 27,000 kV. 60. That's what I would expect. Now we're talking. Alright, 60. Motor 3, which should be a regular 27,000 kV. 60. Great. Great stuff. This makes sense. Motor 4. 60. 60. Fucking za. Okay, we're getting there. Motor 1 is 35,000 kV. So let's make this correction here. Motor 1 is an 802 30,000 kV, and that just turned 70,000, which totally makes sense. That's the only thing that we've learned here. But it's nice to have learned it. I now need to retest those 33,000. There was something going on, I think. I think maybe this frame is getting a little beat up as I crank screws down, remove screws, turn screws down, remove screws. So, okay, this is good. Let me pull these props off, and then we're going to do the regular unloaded RPM test on this 30,000 kV, because, yeah, I don't think we're going to fix anything here, but we'll do it because it's bolted down, and it'll just take a second. So props are coming off. And then I'm going to have to put 33,000 kV back on here and see what the hell's going on there to try to figure that out. All right. Limit says, is it the cockroach stream? It is indeed. Cockroach V3. What's up, Kevin James? Chronic Nugget says, I finally get around to finishing my Siren F3 1506. 1506? Who makes those? 3140. Flies great, much better than 1804s. The voltage spikes a lot, though. Do I really need a cap? Don't have one on other 4X rigs. How do you know that the voltage spikes a lot? I wouldn't know how to figure that out, I don't think. What's leading you to believe that the voltage is spiking? Okay, so the 30,000 kV motor needs to... fuck it, I'll spin them all up. It's fine. They're all on here. Let's... there are basically 3 0802 27,000s on here right now. So, yeah, let's check how reliable the RPM monitoring is by spinning these guys up with no props on. This will be kind of cool. Betaflight, connect, motors tab. Here we go. Actually, I'm only going to spin them up at 50% because that's the way I've been doing it. 60. Motor 1 just did 60. And then the rest of these should be the same. Oh, nope. I don't need full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 52. Good. That's what I want to see. 52. 52. Fantastic. And... beautiful. So there it is. 52,000 right on the money. And then this 59,500, it actually did 60, which is totally fine. 60000. Great. The last thing that we need to retest is the 33,000 kV. There's got to be something going on there. Let's get some real numbers on that because it ain't giving us proper numbers at the moment. I'm pretty sure of it. So I've got 2 of those pulled out here. Let me do this in a way that makes some semblance of sense. All right, I'm going to pull these 2 blue iGal motors off, and then we're going to swap 33,000 kVs onto there. And I'm going to use the 2 same 33,000s, but I'm going to not really tighten the propellers all that much because tighten the motor bases up because I think I screwed it up. I think I over tightened them and the frame was pushing against the C-clip. That's my hunch here. So here we go. Just gonna ever so slightly tighten these bitches. Shane Hale says, should I get walk snail goggles L so I can have HD whoops? I don't know. Is L near X? L is nowhere near X on the keyboard. So I don't know what that L is doing in there. So I can have HD whoops or just stick with analog. I've done a ton of building and flying with walk snail rigs. So yeah, you can see how they perform. I can't really answer that question. It's just, I mean, it is kind of a question without an answer, to be honest. But I can't answer that question for you. Analog is going to give you much better flight performance, much better power to weight ratio, much better runtime. But the video sucks. Walk snail is going to give you unbelievable video quality, but much less performance, much less runtime. And that's kind of it. That's how you need to make that decision. What do you want? Do you want better image quality with worse flight characteristics, or the other way around? That's how you need to decide that. Yeah, pretty straightforward, to be completely honest. If the image quality is worth it to you, awesome. If not, that's awesome too. So yeah, that shouldn't be too impossible of a decision to make, hopefully. All right, so here are 2 30,000 kV motors that I have barely screwed down. Yeah. Yeah, there really should not be anything rubbing on here. So the first time I did this test, these only turned 55,000 RPM at half throttle on with no prop. If it doesn't turn more RPM than that this time, I don't really know what's going on. I will be extra confused. And they are on motors 1 and 2. Let's take a look. Motors tab. Here we go. Motor 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 60,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 52,000. What the hell is going on? 60,000 sounds maybe right. No, that's still too low. What the hell's going on? It's better. It makes more sense, but it's still far too low. One, two, three, four, 5. Man, this one that only turns 52,000, there's something wrong there. Huh. So, all right. So this is very weird. Oh. I was not testing the right motors. I was not testing the right motors. It's on motors 3 and 4. Okay, hold on. Oh! 56,000. Now this is just as weird. 52,000. What the hell? No, now it cranked up to 55. 55 and 56. At least I'm testing the right motors now, though. 55 and 56. This is very weird. So this is a Tiny Whoop Ipomoea. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's an 802 30,000 kV motor. It's supposed to be an 802 30,000 kV motor. At one point in its life, it was an 802 30,000 kV motor. I then took it apart. I took the bell off and swapped on an iGao bell, a Gen 1 iGao bell. And I've tested these motors before on rigs, and I swear to God, they feel like they make more power. And I've been really happy with the way they've performed. But numbers don't lie. And I don't know why they're not turning. They should be turning way more kV than that. They should be up in like the 60s and the 70s. Should be deep into the 60s at the very least. Although, you know what's... Oh, that's really weird. This is super weird. The 702 34,000 only turns 58,000 with no prop. And then this 36,000 turns 60. Look at the 802s. The 802s with no prop on are turning way more RPM than the 702s. That is super strange. This 802 30,000 kV is turning the same RPM with no propeller as a 36,000 kV 702. That's very weird. And then with a propeller on, there's a big difference, which is correct. 70,000 versus 64,000. So that makes sense. The 702s, the Happy Model 702s, the RPM that I'm seeing does not line up with the KV. The 32,500s are only turning the equivalent of 28,000 kV. The 34,000 prototype that I have is turning the equivalent of 29,000 kV. The 36,000 is only turning 30, and the 40,000 is only turning 35. And then what's really interesting is over here on the 802s, no, the same thing's happening. Okay, same thing's happening on the 802s. The 25,000 kV, it's not as drastic, but 25,000 kV is turning 22. 27,000 kV is turning 26. That's pretty close. Look at the 30,000 though. The 30,000 dead on the money. 30 and 30. So the 702s, even without a propeller, they're not winding up as high as they should be. But that's kind of okay because they make the power that we want. And yeah. So like all that means is that like we don't fly these things by the KV. We fly them by the flight feel. And so yeah, you just get a higher KV if you want more power. Pretty straightforward. Kevin Sumner says goggles L are the new walk snail box goggles. Ah, right. I am personally not a fan of box goggles. The focus, the focal distance that your eyeballs have to focus on is typically much closer to your face, and for a lot of people, myself included, that ends up hurting your eyes. So yeah, I don't know if I can really recommend box goggles kind of like ever. They're also like a pain in the ass. They're a pain in the ass to fit in your bag. And so Yeah, I don't know. There were a couple of reviews that made them sound pretty good, which is kind of cool. But if you've never used box goggles before, they're a whole different kind of thing. What do they cost? What do they what's the cost difference between the old school walk snail goggles and the goggles L? That's the real question. If the goggles L are like hundreds and hundreds of dollars cheaper, all right. But I don't think they are. I think it's I think it's a pretty negligible price difference between the two. That's true. JP says glasses mean box goggles for the win. Yeah, fair enough. Although usually you can get inserts. Most non-box goggles you can get inserts for. Okay, so I'm going to pull these other two 33,000 kV motors off this white Cockroach V3 frame. And I'm going to put four 33,000 kV motors onto this thing, and we're going to see what the hell's going on here. This is very strange. I'm actually going to take a close look at these motors, too, while I have them not bolted to a frame. Because, yeah, this... Something ain't right here. All right, so bear with me. First thing I'm looking at is where the magnets line up with the stator poles. And they look good. They look like they're in the right spot. So this is the only motor that I've tested, which is a Happy Model EX stator. And so maybe there is something different about the EX stators. And maybe that's why this thing is not... Two of these are not turning... But it really looks like that's lining up totally fine. All right? And so there's that. And that's all I can really check. there's kind of like nothing else that I can check here. The motor spins perfectly freely. These two I haven't actually spun up yet, so maybe they'll be totally fine. Yeah, I don't know. There's the right amount of play in the motor. I don't know. I'm going to put these two on, and we'll see if anything changes. Maybe these two are just weird. I don't know. But it's good that I got the 30,000 kV figured out. That's a Frankenstein motor as well, but it's a onesie, which is the full size can. This is a regular 27,000 kV iGal. And then this is the 30,000 kV Frankenstein, which turned numbers that make sense a minute ago, which is great. So let's pull this guy off. And this is the second 30,000 kV motor that I tested, and it did better than the first. So, yeah, I think I had that first one cranked down too much. Okay, those are over there. I am now putting two more 33,000 in massive air quotes kV motors on this thing. And I'm going to just barely tighten these screws down to make sure that I'm not over tightening them and screwing something up. Okay, super loose. Not loose, just barely tight though. Chronic Nugget says, I think you missed my previous message as it was another text block. Oh, there we go. 1506s are RCinpower. I don't think I knew that they made 1506s. You're talking about trying... Oh, yeah, okay. My battery voltage fluctuates a lot. Is that not the voltage spiking? I I wouldn't think so. Voltage spiking happens when you smash into something and the propeller like turns backwards basically and then like sends voltage back through the ESC. The battery voltage fluctuates a lot. What does that mean? Like, when does it fluctuate? If what you're saying is that when you hammer the throttle, the battery voltage sags super low, that is the problem with those 1506s. They are a heinously powerful motor that just eats and eats and eats and eats. And yeah, that was one of the big problems that I had with them before. Okay, let's see what the hell happens here. This is super weird, but let's get it figured out. Plugging into Betaflight. Get disconnected here. And now let's hook up power. All right, so here goes nothing. First, let's just spin these guys up. Let's just get them spinning. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at all four at once. 55, 52, 55, and 52. There is something wrong with these motors. And I'm just letting them turn. Motor 2 has gone from 52 up to 55, but none of them are going beyond 56. Motor 4 is still being an idiot. Are these getting hot? Just free turning like that? No, they're okay. So yeah, there's something super weird going on with these motors. Well, I don't know where to go from here. I guess I put propellers on them just for the sake of doing it. 55, 56, 55, 52. Yeah, there's something seriously wrong here. I'm going to put props on them. But it's not going to go well. Motor 1 is good. Motor 2 is good. Motor 3 is good. Wow, what the hell are the odds that they're all spinning in the right direction? I'm going to very gently put these props on so that they're easy to get off, because this is a waste of a test here. But whatever. Just takes a couple of seconds. Okay. Hopefully these props don't shoot off and hit me in the face and slice my fucking jugular. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh. Motor 1. Whoa, no, something's bad. Something bad's happening. Oh, there we go. User error. 6970. 60. What the hell? 60. 59. What the? Why is motor 1 all of a sudden a goddamn rock star? I think 70,000 is what... So 70,000 is what the 30,000 kV motor was turning. So that makes a lot of sense. But the other three are way down. And then in the kV tests, they were... Wow, this is weird. You can hear it. Well, that one's getting up to 62. Yeah, okay. So this set of Frankenstein motors, there's something going on with it. Something bad's happening with this set of motors. I'm glad I figured this out. Man, motor 1 is cranking. The rest of them are not. This is weird, man. Okay. I think. Thank you, Cloudhopper. Cloudhopper is going to check his 802s that he hand rewound to 33,000. You're checking the RPM with your cool little setup though, right? So like you rewinding those to 33,000 kV. Brent Anderson says lube. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. I did pull them apart and put them back together. So maybe for some reason they dried out or something like that. But I mean, we just tested a million other motors, some of which have been taken apart and put back together, and none of those have any lubage. But when dealing with motors that aren't acting right, lube is a great way to kind of make sure that there's not something wacky going on. So let's do it. Doesn't take long. Get in there. There we go. Okay. So there's the bottom, and now for the tops, I gotta go pirate. Gotta go pirate style. Arr. Yarr. I also need a little bit of light. And so, where are we at here? There we go. All right, I want to get that in there. That one should be okay. Oops, shit, that got all over the propeller. That's not great. All right, so those two are fine. Oh, that got all over the motor bell. That's not great. And then I did a piss poor job on these last two. But it'll be fine. All right, these are about to fling lube everywhere, but whatever. Just like a regular old Friday night around here. All right, so Striker says 27,000 kV, one out of stock. 33s are weird. Only other option is EX25, 40 millimeter prop. Sean Hale says, how's the neck, brother? It was feeling better, and then it started hurting again yesterday. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, let's see the magic of skateboard lube. And there's props on now too, so okay. I'd be really interested to do this with props off, but I'm not going to do that. Motors! Here we go. Motor 1 was at 70. Still at 70, no change. 64. Motor 2 is doing better. Motor 3 is doing a little better. Motor 4 is not. Let me spin these up slowly and give the lube a second to kind of work its way in there. And then we'll do that one more time. Motor 1, 70. Motor 2, 64. Motor 3, 64. Motor 460. Now, yeah, there's they should all be over 70, and none of them are. So, yeah, there's something cursed about these 33,000 kV 0702s. Yeah, something ain't right. Shit ain't right. I'm going to take all 4 of these off and put them on the other 2G4. because we need to test and make sure that these two AIOs are going to perform the same as one another. And this is kind of the easiest way to do that. Cool. So here we go. Here we go. I should get a lab coat, man. And then when we do these sciencey streams, I put the lab coat on. Know what I'm saying? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I gotta do a bunch of stuff, man. I gotta take props off of this. I've already spun some of these motors up, so let's pull this off of here. Cloudhopper says I can check them in the same way that you're checking too. Of course you can. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I'd be super. Yeah, Cloudhopper. That would be awesome. If you can test a couple of motors the same way that I am, and then in your admittedly much better way, I would be very curious to see what the difference is, if there's any difference between these two ways of testing. I get the funny feeling that the way that I'm testing here is pretty good. Hey, did you happen to know? Did you have a situation, Cloudhopper? I don't remember where you wound a motor and then you checked the kV and then it was making like way more power, because I'm seeing all these motors being way low. Does the yeah, all of the Happy Model 702s. Oh, I think most of the rewinds you've done have been 802s, right? But yeah, all the Happy Models that I've tested have been, not all of them, but most of the Happy Model motors are showing a much lower kV than they're rated for, which doesn't bode well for the way that I'm checking the kV, unfortunately. But maybe it's okay. I've had a couple motors that are right on the money, and they tend to be the non-Happy Model motors. So yeah, it's starting to feel like, what it kind of feels like to me is that the Happy Model motors make so much power that they've decided to underrate the kV numbers on the motors themselves. So that like when you buy a 30,000 kV motor, it performs like you think a 30,000 kV motor should. Which, as I say, it sounds very weird, but you know what I'm saying, right? I don't know, it's weird. Cloudhopper says, yes, my 0702 rewinds checked higher. I rewound to 40.5 thousand kV and they checked to 42. Yeah, so I wonder if there's something weird with 702. I don't know, man. I mean, look, the kV of a motor is supposed to be the RPM that it turns with a specific amount of voltage that's put through it. But we use the kV of motors as how much power they're going to make. Which, I mean, like, kudos to us. That's really the difference that it should kind of make. But yeah, I don't know. It's all getting a bit weird with some of this testing. But hey, look, what I can say right now is don't make your own 33,000 kV motor, 33,000 kV 802, because I did these 4 and only one of them is even close, and it's not putting down any more power than the 30,000 kV. So yeah, that ain't right. David Smith says, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Hope everything has been going well. Have been a while since I could tune in. Good to have you back, David. Kinetic says, is there a reason why you are just blipping the motors and not holding full power for a few seconds? Because nothing changes. And it's, you know, I'm not going to stress out the ESC any more than I need to. You know, these are gold 2G4 AIOs that I'm using to test here. it's looking like sooner than later these things are going to be gone forever. Although, man, GetFPV got a whole bunch back in stock last week. Now Pyrodrone's getting them back in stock. So I don't know. Maybe Happy Model is still making 2G4s. It's been feeling like it's been like found leftover stock, but I don't know. Maybe they're still making them. But yeah, nothing changes. The RPM doesn't change after a few seconds. It gets to the top RPM pretty much instantly and just sits there. So no reason to sit there and let it go banging away. And I just did that on these 33,000s to see if maybe, I don't know, once they warmed up they would turn a higher RPM, and no, they're nothing's changing. Our motors get to their top KV like in fractions of a second, and then they just sit there. All right, so I am done with this 65 millimeter frame that I've been doing a bunch of this testing with. And I can put it up here, and I'll figure out a set of motors to put on there. I don't know what it's going to be. That's sort of like the test bed setup. So it gets all kinds of weird shit thrown at it. Let's do some ultralight flying here tonight. I'm going to put a couple of 260 mAh batteries on the charger. And we'll fly the Mobile 6 2024 a little bit. If you haven't seen it yet, Nightwing and Jesse from Tiny Whoop did a just fantastic video how to bring the weight down on your Air 65 into the 15 gram range, which is outrageous. I'm not going to be doing that, but I'm glad that they did. It's super, super, super cool. I am happy with it. The some of the things that they did are just, yeah, kind of pushing the limits of what I'm willing to do. And that's okay. Everybody has their own, everybody's willing to go a different amount down the rabbit hole. I'm also really happy with the way that they fly at 16 grams, and we're getting into the realm of, like, I think we might be getting too late. Yeah, the big power rigs that I have with the 2G4s that are like 18 point something grams, I really like the way they fly. These 16 gram rigs, I like the way they fly too. But I think I'm good. I think lightweight Tiny Whoops at 16 grams are awesome. And then I think that heavier weight ones at 18 are very cool too. And I don't have a lot of motivation to continue to chase the dragon and go lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And there's a chance that I think 17 grams might be where the money is at. As they get lighter and lighter, they get... I noticed this the other night. They get really twitchy. And, of course, we can tune that out in beta flight, for sure. But we have enough runtime and, like... Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very easy to build one of these things to be 17 or 18 grams and then just focus on flying. And that's important. It's important not to get so tied up in the technical and the building side that you spend all your time there versus flying, especially if you're trying to get good. Trying to get good, you should be spending practically no time on the technical side of it. You should just be focused on repairing and flying, because you want to fly the same thing over and over again. And when you get all tied up in the technical side, you never fly the same thing twice, because you're always making changes to it. And so that's one of the challenges. If, like, the technical side of the hobby is fun to you, but you want to get good at flying, it's super challenging. You got to, like, really separate those two things, and that's tough to do. Kinetic says, how are you liking the HDZero goggles? Is the analog quality good, and is the price justifiable for you? The price is not justifiable for me. Luckily, I got an incredible deal on them, but As analog goggles, the price is completely insane. So yeah, do not buy them as analog goggles unless money doesn't matter to you. Then by all means. The image quality is on par with every other OLED screened goggle. The DVR quality is on par with goggles that have the good DVRs in them, like the Sky Zone goggles and the Orcas. Not that you can buy them anymore, but you can get the same DVR quality with an immersion RC power play, admittedly. The HDZero says, I'm sure they do, but they say that they're interlacing, they're de-interlacing the video. And I don't doubt that they are, but I have not seen, and I've looked at a lot of footage from them and from the immersion RC power play. I don't see any difference whatsoever in the quality of the footage. That's just me. But yeah, I've compared a bunch, and there's an absolute difference between them and like the OG Fat Shark DVR. But I mean, yeah, the old school Fat Shark DVR is known to be bad for a long time. And my solution ages ago was to get an immersion RC power play, and it made a big difference. And it's great, and the quality that comes out of it is awesome, and it's 60 frames a second. And I've recorded a ton of analog video with it, and it looks, yeah, just the same. So that's fine. HDZero goggles are for if you're going to go HDZero down the road, hands down. To buy them specifically for analog doesn't make any sense financially, and it doesn't make any sense quality-wise for me. So, yeah. That's a tough one. Look how silly that looks. Look at those wee little propellers on that big-ass frame. Man, that really makes it so obvious how big of a difference there is between 1.2-inch and 1.6-inch props. That's funny looking. Okay, let's test these motors on a different frame and a different AIO and see if anything changes. I don't think it will. I also don't think I wrote down those RPMs, so I'm just gonna have to go by memory, which is great. Here we go. I want to say it was like 70, then 62, then 62, then 60. Let's get the motor spin in the right direction first, of course. Start and spin. Motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is incorrect. Oh, god damn it. This 2G4 doesn't... Oh, fuck you. It doesn't reverse the motors. Motor 3 is wrong. Yeah, this 2G4 for whatever reason doesn't reverse the motors. Which is super weird because apparently that was a bug in Betaflight 4.3. This is on 4.1. And it still doesn't reverse the motors. So, yeah, apparently it's an ongoing bug. I don't... Oh my god. This makes this whole thing so much more of a fuck you. Oh! No! Oh, god damn it. This is going to be the dumbest goddamn way of doing this, but I don't see another way. Motor 1 is fine. Motor 2 is backwards. 3 is backwards. 4 is correct. Oh, this is gonna suck to have to do this over and over again. This is gonna suck a big bag of donkey dicks. Motor 2, normal. Motor 3, sorry, ESC 3, normal. Right settings. Oh man, if I have to do that every time, I'm gonna stab someone. All right, here we go. Comparing results in between AIOs and frames. What's with all the air? Okay, there we go. Let me just make sure that the motors are all spinning the right direction. 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is correct, 4 is correct. Okay, cool. So here we go. 70, great. 64. 64. 64. Motor 1 turning 70 is a good thing. The rest of these motors turning extra RPM is a bad thing. But motor 1 turned 70, so fuck it, it's fine. Most of the testing we're going to be doing here is with the 1.6-inch props, so that'll be okay. Even if we got a little bit more... that one motor being still at 70, I'm just going to hold on to that for dear life. Steve Jobs says, I think I've made the smallest FPV quad in the world, but what's the current record? I have absolutely no idea. I wouldn't even know how you would find that out. Ask Google. Google will know. Google will know the answer. All right, pulling these little 1210 props off. I think we're done with the testing on these. I'm going to put 1.6-inch props on the 30,000 kV motor here that did the best, which is motor number 1. And then, well, let's just see. I'll put 2 of these props on. Why is this so hard to get this propeller on? Oh, there it goes. I'm going to put 2 of these propellers on. The 70,000 RPM motor and motor number 2, which was 64 to 65, and let's just see what happens here. Man, some of this shit's getting super weird. What the hell? All right, motors 1 and 2. Let's see what happens here. They should turn significantly less RPM. Let me update. Where the hell's the spreadsheet? There it is. Let me update this though, because I did see 70,000 here on one of the 33,000, so that kind of makes sense. 70, 60, 60, 60. And I did also see 60,000 here. So, all right. 33,000 kV motor is fine. Now let's see what it does on 1.6-inch props. Connect and motors, and here we go. Motor 1. 49. Interesting. Motor 2. 49. Okay. That's okay. That's really interesting. I'm going to put the rest of these propellers on. So... Ooh. Oh. Is that the deal? Hold on. Why? There's an odd selection of props here. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. I thought I was maybe onto something, but it doesn't make sense. 49. 49. 49. 49. Wow. So... Oh, boy. Okay. So... I know what's going on here. Wow, this is actually very interesting. I I think what's going on is these 1210 propellers that I hand drilled out are not... I did not... Even though I did... I drilled them 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. In that process, I don't have like a drill press or anything like that. The drilling has done this. And I can feel it when I spin these guys up. They are vibrating. Those vibrations are slowing these motors down. The vibes from the propeller is making the motor shaft rub up against the bearings and the bushing, and that is dragging the motor down. That's the only thing that makes any sense, because these 4 motors on this AIO... Wait, they weren't on this... Yeah, no, they were on this AIO. We're turning 4 different KVs, 3 different KVs. I am now going to pull the propellers off. Wait, what are those numbers? I need to lock that number. What was that number that I just said? Can somebody rewind and tell me in chat? All 4 pulled the same RPM. Was it 49? I think it was 49. It was 49, wasn't it? Somebody just say yes. Heavy model, 30,000. Oh, and look, the 30,000 did 48. So that makes total sense that it would be 49,000. Yo! Wow. Okay. We're getting there. We're figuring some shit out. All right. Let's pull the props off, and I'm going to spin these with no propeller, and we're going to see what happens here. I'm a little confused, I must admit. All 4 of them turn the exact same RPM with balanced props. With out-of-the-box propellers, not janky hand-drilled propellers. Yeah, that's the only... This is what... But I swear to God, didn't I spin these up on this AIO without the props on? Maybe I didn't. Problem is I put all that lube in these motors, so that lube could have now worked its way all in, and that was possibly what was going on the other frame. Maybe? Alright, they don't have motors on them now. I'm sorry, they don't have props on them now. Let's see what's shaking here. Motors! Here we go. Up to 50. I'm just going to do them all at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All at 1,500. 50, 55, 54, 55, 55. 55. All 4 of these are turning. But they were on the other AIO, they were turning 60. Oh boy, this just gets weirder and weirder. Okay. What? 55 to 56. 55 to 56. Same. Yeah, okay, none of this shit makes any sense. I'm gonna change this one more time to 56,000. And I'm just going to tell you guys that you should not build 0802 33,000 kV motors with iGal bells. If I still had one of the unmolested 33,000s, I would love to test it. But I don't even have those bells anymore. They are long gone. So if the 0802 33,000 kV motor comes back in stock at Tiny Whoop, I will buy another set and I will test them like this. and we will hopefully figure out what the hell went wrong. Either those motors are not turning the RPM that they should, or in the process of putting these onesie bells onto an EX motor, something bad happens. Because, yeah, these are not turning the RPM that they should. And they are now all... and even when we had that one 70,000 RPM, I don't know where the hell that came from, that's still not as high as it really should be. Ooh, man, some of the repeatability that it seemed like we had going on here has been lost. But I think we're losing repeatability on the hardware side. I think this is a physical problem with these motors. Yeah, very weird. David Smith, no, we got that. Cloudhopper says, yes, my 0702, we got that. Actually, the rate is as the... They rate it as the RPM required for the motor to generate 1 volt when spun as an alternator. There it is. Kinetic says, what's your pick for best AIO after 2G4? The old school beta FPV cross style, because then you can put an external VTX. The new Air 65 AIO doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Having a built-in VTX that outputs too high of a power rating, which for racing is a problem, but then an external receiver just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's nice that AIO is very lightweight, though. And then the Mobula 6 2024 AIO seems pretty good. But there are 2G4s in stock, so you should get one. Unless you want to chase the ultra lightweight Dragon. In which case, I don't know what to tell you to get. I don't know. There are different pluses and minuses to the Mobula 6 2024 AIO and the Beta 65 Air AIO. Yeah, the Beta Air 65 AIO is direct soldered, which can go to hell forever. So yeah, I'm not down with that. All right, these motors are going to get put aside right here below the camera because something's not right with those. Man, they felt great in the air, but I wonder if I hurt them. I did fly those hard and crash them really hard. I wonder, but I would not. There's no way that I hurt all 4 of them the same amount. Man, that's weird. But again, that is the only set of motors that were EXs and that I put onesie bells on. So maybe there is something slightly off about the way that they make the EX stator. That could totally be the case. The way to troubleshoot that is to get a fresh set of them and spin them up like this and see what they do. Okay. So, I have to test all of the 802s, which means I've tested the 30. I haven't tested a 27. So let me grab a purple 27. We'll put that on motor 1. And away we go. We're going to test a whole bunch of different motors with the 1.6 inch props now. And to speed this up, because it's already 11:40, Jesus Christ, I'm just going to start doing one of each motor. I've had pretty good repeatability, and I can really tell when the numbers that this thing spits out are not right. So if I just test one motor and the numbers that I'm getting don't jive, I will retest it. But for right now, I'm just going to do one of each. So there's a 27. I I also need a 25. Where the hell are the 25s? Did I reinstall them as if I wasn't going to test them on the bigger propeller? What a dummy. Okay. Hold on. That was a silly thing to do. What kind of noise does that screwdriver make rolling across the desk? Is it cool? Or is it stupid? It's stupid, isn't it? That's fine. This 802 25,000 kV has a 1mm motor shaft. Luckily, GemFan makes this same 1610 prop in 1mm shaft. So I'm just going to leave the smoke crotch gray prop on here. And all is right with the world. I am not going to test any of the 702 or smaller motors on 1.6-inch props. I've been down that road. They fly like ass. They don't have nearly enough stator volume for the bigger, heavier prop. If you're doing like a long-range tiny whoop or you don't care about response time or flight characteristics, by all means, save some weight, try it. You're going to hate it, though. 0702s are perfectly sized for 1.2-inch props. And that's a good thing. All right, there's one. Here's the other. I did this in a kind of stupid way. I've got the 27,000 on motor 1, the 25,000 on motor 2, but whatever. As long as I remember that when I type it in, we're fine. What else do we want to test? VCI 080 whatever. I've already tested a 1002, I think. Right? RCinpower 1002. Yep, I got the number on that, 49.5. So that's good to go. Where we at? Beta FPV has an 0802 that we can test. Happy Model 19,000 we can test too. Where are all of these goddamn motors? Here's let's test an 0603. 0603 is just small enough. Let's test one of those. That's fine. I can't believe I can't believe I like rebolted these motors down to frames. That was very stupid. Okay, here we go with an 0603 30,000. This will be super interesting. Actually, 603 is a really wild stator size. It's insane that it has less stator volume than an 802. I'm actually really interested to see what this 603 30,000 does with a 1.6-inch prop compared to an 802 30,000. This will be kind of cool. If the wire is long enough. Yeah, it is. That's right. I had to solder new leads to a set of these 0603 30s for 75 mil. Ooh, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be a really cool little test there. Where the hell are the rest of the motors that I've apparently tested here? Where are they? 703. We're gonna test that. All right, that'll be the last one we put on here. Is this VCI 703? All right. Where the hell is the 802 19,000 that I'm sure I tested? I guess it's on... Oh, it's... right. It's on the walk snail rig still. No, it's not. What? Oh, it's on the 2S walk snail rig. That's where it is. Got it. I wish I'd left the damn motors sitting out. That would have made a lot of sense. Juju says, how would I find a diagram for the Tiny Hawk 3 Freestyle AIO? I can't find it anywhere. Check Emacs's website. Check Google Images. And then if you still can't find it, send Emacs an email and say, yo, what the hell? Why can't I find this? Please send it to me and put it on the internet. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's looking for it. But yeah, I can pretty much always find wiring diagrams with Google Images. Search for the name of the AIO, search for the name of the bind and fly, and put the word wiring in there. All right, let's test these I'm going to test 3 of these with no props on as a check against the other 2G4. And this will rule out some potential weirdness between AIOs. God damn, I hope this pulls the same RPMs. So it's going to be motors 1, 3, and 4 that I'm going to spin up here real quick. 1, 3, and 4. And we're going to check them against previous. All right, motor 1 is a iGao 0802 27000. Oh, nope. That ain't it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 51, 52. 52. 52. Oh, nope. 52,000. 52,000. Perfect. Motor 3 is a 603 30,000. 49. It just hit 50. It's up to 52. That's not great. It turned 56,000 on the other AIO. 52.6. It's getting there. Hold on. Let me just wiggle the motor around a little bit. Ooh, the motor's getting a little warm. I can feel a little heat in there. Okay. Let's try it again. 52.6. That is way off. Shit. Voltage is sagging down to 3.99. That's normal. Well, the one motor was totally fine, so let's try a third one. This is the VCI 0703 23,500. 46,000. Call it 47,000. 47,000 VCI 0703. Hey, 46,000. Great. Okay, so I have pulled a 0603 30,000 that is weak. Or I previously tested an 0603 30,000 that was hot. So what I'm going to do is take this 0603 off and swap it with another one. And we'll see if we can get closer to that 56,000 number. Make sense? Curtis Hayes says, what do you think of the pinch cam from Tiny Whoop? It's totally fine. The Tiny Whoop motor thing, Tiny Whoop camera thing, the RunCam Nano 3 is so much lighter than all of the other ones that the quality looks totally fine. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. And like none of the cameras look like drastically better than any of the other ones. So I don't know. And then they all go through analog VTXs and end up looking like ass anyway. So I'm always just like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter all that much. But look, my opinion of a camera doesn't really mean anything to anyone. If you like the way that a camera looks compared to the other cameras that are available, then you should definitely get that camera. There is no right or wrong answer. We would argue about this all the time with still photography, right? This is a never-ending argument between Canon people, Nikon people, and Sony people. They all think that their chosen brand of camera looks the best. There is no best. There's just different. And none of the clients care or know. So yeah, there are working professionals around the world that'll have that same argument with you. But yeah, in reality. Sean Hale says, which is it? Is it most or is it all? 3 to 4 inch quads have T-motor AIOs. Should I flash the ESCs to Bluejay? Yes, any 8-bit ESCs should be flashed to Bluejay. It literally gives you more power and more efficiency. No reason not to. Okay, another 603 is on here. Let's see what this one does. The number that I'm shooting for is 56,000. It's on motor 3. Let's see. Oh, nope. Don't want that. Oh, nope. Come back down. There we go. Ah, 52,000 again. 53,000. Let me spin this motor in the other direction. You never know. You never do know. This is motor... Oh, but this is the AIO that won't change the direction of the motors, isn't it? Isn't it? What the hell? Bueller? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 56,000. Watch this. 56,000. Motor direction. Wizard. Start and spin. I'm not going to change the direction of motor 3, even though it doesn't change. Anyway. What the hell? 56,000 again. What? Wait, what? So even though this doesn't change the direction of the motor... Okay, well, I don't know. For whatever reason, when I started to go in here and do this, it changed something. Oh boy, that's a very weird thing. All right, whatever. We're back up where we need to be at 56, and I just don't care. It's fine. 46. That's correct. Yep. I don't know. There was some weird fluke. I don't know. 52. Yeah. All right. No, we're fine. These two AIOs are giving the correct RPM back. All right. Putting some props on. And then these are both 1mm shafts. Where am I? 1mm shaft props at. Oh, for God's sakes. All right, hold on. I have to pull them off this other quad. I think I got antsy and I wanted to fly this other rig around. But now I need to pull these props off because I need it for this testing. If I missed somebody's comment, please retype it for me. I apologize. Kind of in the middle of something, though. Nah, you're good. Please ask questions. The most value that I can provide to the community. This thing is props in. Great. Come on. Get off of it. Fantastic. Props in. Oh, boy. That is not sliding on there with any confidence. Maybe it won't fly off and hit me in the face. You never know. Okay, so now I have to do the super annoying thing and reverse this guy with ESC configurator. That's dumb. But first, I need to check what direction all these motors are spinning with this and then there. Okay, so motor 1 is wrong. Motor 2 is wrong. Motor 4 is right. Motor 3 is wrong. Boy, do I wish this worked. Why the hell doesn't it work? Yeah, it doesn't work. That's so weird. 1, 2, and 3 need to be reversed. I need to disconnect from here. Connect here. Read. Come on, damn it. 1 reversed. 2 reversed. 3 reversed. Right settings. Okay, good. Connect. Motors. Come on, all that air. Get that air down. What are you doing? There it goes. Okay, motor 1, 27,802. 49,000. And that is a retest, 49,000. Yeah, 49,500, even better. Motor 2, which is an 802, 25,000. I haven't tested one of these yet. I saw 48,000 for like a split second. Hold on, let me give it a second to cool down. That's not even hot though. Try it again. 48. It comes down to 47. I'm gonna go with 47 on that one. 47,000 kV. I'm sorry, RPM rather, from a 25,000 kV. 47. Interesting stuff. Already coming. Already seeing some jam here. Wait, motor number what? Motor number 1. Oh wait, yeah, hold on. Motor number 1 I haven't even logged yet. Interesting. 46.5 I'm gonna say. 40. No, yeah, it was. I'm rounding too much. 47. Yeah, we're starting to see the same thing happening as with the 702s, which I think means that these motor sizes are kind of optimized, which is good. So this is all the 1610 prop stuff. Next up, we've got a 603 30,000. Where are you at? There it is, 603 30,000. Let's see what you wind up to. Motor 3. Wow, look at that. It's sat at 49,000 for a while. And now it comes down to 46. This is different, man. These motors are saturating with heat, and the RPMs are coming down. That was not happening previously. Let's try it one more time. 49. Yeah, 49, and then it comes down 48, 47, 46. Or the FETs are getting too hot. The motors don't feel like they're getting all that hot. Oh, I wonder if the FETs are getting too hot. We're putting a lot more load on these now. This is a much bigger prop. This is making much more thrust. I think I need to use the numbers that I first see. So that's 49. Oh, wow, this is interesting. All right, hold on, let me try the fourth motor. You can hear it. Oh, I didn't push it all the way up. Man, all 4 of these motors are doing something really similar. Hold on, let me just let me think about this for a second. Are we people steal catalytic converters because there's platinum, I believe it is, inside of them, and you can sell them for a lot. They cut them off your car and then they go sell them and they get like $100 for them. What's up, Teddy Spaghetti? How are you, sir? Okay, so this... We're going to myth bust this shit right now. Yep. Here's an X12 AIO with 12 amp FETs on it. And so I've got the same motor and the same propeller. Yeah. Here we go. We're going to figure this out right fucking now. So here we go. Check out the big brain on Brad. X12, motor 4, same propeller, same motor. Here we go. Motor 4. It sits at 49 and stays at 49. Yep. So it is. It's the FETs overheating. 49 is the number, and this is a 25,000 kV motor. And so I got to change this, and we have to use the X12 for the 1.6 inch prop testing. All right. So what this also means is this is a loaded this is the most possible stress that we can put on the FETs in this test. Holding the quad down, firing it up to full steam. What this kind of means, though, is that 5 amp FETs on 75 millimeter rigs are kind of sort of not enough, but not really, because this test so 5 amp FETs are not enough if you're going to do a 75 millimeter build and hold it like this, because when you hold it like this and hammer it at full throttle, the FETs overheat and the power drops off. You're not going to hold it like this. You're going to let it go, and it's going to fly through the air. And when it flies through the air, you're asking less of it. But this is pretty cool, because this is starting to show us like the limitations of 5 amp FETs. And if you want to kind of like sort of future-proof yourself in a weird way, in case 75 millimeter rigs get more powerful, you want to build them with AIOs that have higher than 5 amp FETs. Problem with that is the X12 only fits in the Module 7 V4 frame, which is fine because this is a good frame. I don't know of any other AIOs that have bigger than 5 amp FETs. Interesting stuff here. This is cool. This is a perfect example of something that I was hoping to figure out from some of this goddamn testing. But again, as soon as this thing is in the air, as soon as this 70, here's what I'll definitely say: you would not want to build an 85 millimeter setup with a 5 amp fetted ESC AIO. That's for goddamn sure. Okay, so I got to switch over to this rig for the rest of this testing at midnight. Fail. What is cool, though, is that 2G4 was giving me full RPM for the first, like, split second, which is kind of cool. But yeah, then I could just watch it overheat. Also pretty cool that the FETs didn't just explode. I don't really know how they work, but they became less efficient and started outputting less power, or is the overheating protection what's pulling back the power, right? Something's happening, and it's not blown up, right? Cloudhopper's been flying 75 millimeter frames with 802s and the 5 amp 2G4 AIOs, and not fried one yet. Definitely haven't fried one yet, because exactly what we just saw. Something pulled the RPMs, pulled the power down. This is something that I've kind of always said, which is that ESCs don't fail from like making too much power. They fail from smashing into the concrete. They fail from like some kind of a back spike of voltage. They don't fail from you putting a motor that's a little bit too big on them, or a KV that's a little bit too high on them. They fail from like violence. Like they need more violence than that. If you put a big enough battery and a big enough motor on it, I'm sure you can blow them up. But this is pretty cool. I've never seen that before. I've never, in 8+ years of doing this, seen the ESC back itself off like that. That was pretty cool. And again, that was me holding this thing down. You don't fly it like that. You fly it in the air. And as soon as this thing starts traveling forward, it's got incoming air. And so it doesn't have to do enough work. So a 2G4 on a 75 millimeter build is probably completely fine. But for this testing, I'm not going to use a 2G4 anymore. Because I can't sit here and fire the motor up and real quick look to see what the first number is, because it starts to ramp down pretty quickly. Go. All right, so I got to take these motors off of this and drop them onto that. What motors do I want to put onto this? I'm going to put the regular purple iGao, yeah, 27,000s onto this build here. This is like an ultra lightweight 2G4 Jungle Gym Basher. And so, yeah, it's going to get the ultralight motors. I've already got one of those on here, so I can leave that. Let's pull this 603. Oh, it's palladium. That's it. Cole Powers, thank you for that. Yeah, basically there's precious metals in catalytic converters that are worth a lot of money. More, and they're like worth more money by the day, it feels like. Wait, no. If this is going to be the ultralight build, I'm going to leave. Oh, yeah, I'm going to put the 25. Yeah. This is the build with the 25,000s on it. Yeah. I'm going to put the 27,000s on the X12 build, and I'm going to fly them bitches back to back and see if I can feel a difference. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I fixed that 49,000 for the 0802 25,000. I think I have to retest everything else. Even the 1002. Even the 1002 needs to get retested. I'll do that right now. Because I definitely did all of the 1.6 inch prop testing on this 2G4. Okay, so this 2G4 now gets these three motors put onto it. And that'll be the super lightweight Jawn. How many people know the word Jawn? Jawn. Type yes into the chat if you know the definition of the word Jawn and or have just ever heard that word before. I'm not gonna tell you what it means yet, because I don't trust you guys. You're a bunch of liars. You'll lie about it. I'm not gonna put that motor there, because then I'll have to switch the propeller. I'm gonna put it over here. Earthwalker knows. Notice knows. Are you guys both Northeasterners? Is it a Northeastern thing? No, it's not Spanish for John. It means like, it's just like a thing. Like, I can call these motors Jawns. I put these Jawns back on. But I think it's a Northeastern thing. Earthwalker says I learned it from a Northeasterner. Yeah, I think it might actually be a Philly thing. Must be. I've never heard it and I'm Southern. Yeah, people down here don't know it. They don't know what Jawn means. Okay, that's the 30,000 props in. Great. Let's go with this wacky 703. .703, another really weird but kind of interesting prop size. I'm kind of looking forward to testing these. I wish they were a little bit higher KV, but I'm going to test them on 1.6, and we'll see. All right, cool. Cole Power says, my LLM nailed the answer. It's a Philly thing. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it was a Philly thing. What's LLM? LLM? LLM. Ladies love Mike? Do you guys know that's what LL Cool J means? Ladies love Cool James? Somebody didn't know that. Somebody's mind just got blown out of their asshole. AI large language model. Wow, fucking AI knows. What the hell? Large language model. I didn't realize that. How the hell? Well, no, I guess it makes sense. Because it's able to localize people typing into the internet. And so it's seeing that word show up with Philadelphia localized shit, and it's going, yeah, it's a Philly thing. when we went on our tri-state tour, National Lampoon's tri-state tour, there was an ice cream store right next to Gino's and Pat's, and up in the windows they said, "We got them John." It said, "We got them Johns," and I looked at it and I was like, "I bet you these fucking Southerners I'm with don't know what that is." And nobody did. Maggie didn't know it. The kids hadn't heard it. I was surprised the kids hadn't heard it. But yeah, nobody knew what it was. Okay. X12 testing has begun. This is annoying. I wish I'd realized this earlier, but I'm glad that I realized it at all, because having the RPMs dumped down like that would have, I think it would have screwed all of the testing. I think we would have seen like all 46,000 RPM. Okay, there it is. Let's plug in. It is old school. Yeah, Just Mo says he hasn't heard it lately. Yeah, this is like, I remember it from when I was in college, maybe even high school, and that's going 20 years back. Okay, and ooh, you know what? I bet you the X12 will reverse the motors properly in beta flight. That'll be freaking fantastic. Okay, so here we go. Let's get these turned in the right direction. I do need to test. Oh, farts. Startup power is not enough. I can still feel what direction they're spinning. Motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is wrong. Please reverse. Hey, terrific. Motor 3 is correct. Motor 4 is wrong. Click it to reverse it. There we go. Fantastic. Stop motors, close. All right, here we go. No, hold on. I got to put a prop on this little RCinpower 1002 22,000. All right. What are these 1.6 inch props going to do? Let's see. Motor 1, IGAO, regular 27,000 kV. Hey, what's happening? There we go. 49,000. Where you at, IGAO? 47. Yeah, look at that. 2 extra thousand RPM from FETs that are big enough. Very cool. Motor number 2 is a RCinpower 1002 22,000. Whoa, 52,000. Look at that low kV motor push the shit out of that propeller. Now we're getting some cool ass shit. 52,000. 22,000 kV made 22,000 kV versus 27,000 kV. 5,000 less kV, and it turned 3,000 more RPM. That is grunt, my friends. That, when I say grunt, that's what I mean. 1002 grunt versus 802. Here's a 603 30,000. Ooh, wow. 49? 49, yeah. 49. And now we've got the 703 23,500 kV. Oh my god, what's this gonna do? 49.5. 49.5. Ooh, buddy. All right, yo, this is cool. 1.6 inch props are starting to look like they really do want the bigger motors. But again, this is a loaded thrust test. Look at how bad this looks here with the 702s, right? This is, 702s are optimized for 1.2 inch props, and that's what we're seeing here on a loaded thrust stand, the way that you don't fly. So actually, this is really what we're kind of looking for. It sort of means that the 802s are optimized, but yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is good stuff. This is really, really good stuff. I got maybe one more round in me, and then I'm gonna have to call it because it's getting late. Steve Jobs says, "What are you using to power the ESC? What size battery?" A Toolkit RC P200 adjustable power supply that's locked at 4 volts. It does sag a little bit though. It sags down to 3.8, which I can see in Betaflight. So on the sheet, on the spreadsheet, I've got 3.8 volts as the the modifier for the RPM, which is pretty realistic. Like every single battery, even like the 450 mAh batteries, even fully charged at 4.35, as soon as you go full throttle, it's going to drop down to at the maximum 3.8 volts. Usually it'll drop down to like 3.7, 3.6, but yeah. Tiny Whoop batteries sag like crazy. And so it's stupid to do this testing at like 4.35 volts on the power supply. I would probably have cooked an AIO already if I'd done that, but it doesn't make any sense to really do that. Okay. Well, I've already unplugged the motors, so we're not going to test the no prop RPM on this AIO. It would have been the same. It's fine. All these AIOs are on Bluejay. They're pretty much all on 0.16, and they're all on 48 kilohertz. So yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I need to retest pretty much everything. So this is a regular 802 27,000. So this is done. Okay, so I need to delete the shit that I need to retest. So I need to retest this and this. So let's kill those. And yeah, this is good. Oh, and you know what? This might explain some of the weirdness with the 33,000 kV motors. Could it be? Could it be? Probably not, but we're going to see if we can find out. All right, this is a 603. You go over here. And we've got a 703. I actually really can't wait to fly these 703s. At 23,500 kV, they might be good on an analog 75 millimeter build. And then the star of the show so far, the RCinpower 1002 22,000, just jamming that 1.6 inch prop up to mega RPM. Okay, so we shall now test a 0802 30,000 kV. That's going to be motor number 1. Put that one here. And then all right. Steve Jobs also says you should try it once with a big battery just to compare as a sanity check. I mean, the biggest battery that I have is a 450. And that's, you know, it's going to sag to an unknown voltage. We'll do it just for the sake of doing it. But yeah, it's what you're going to see is that the RPMs are going to drop off like crazy. It's going to sag down below this number, and then the RPMs are going to drop. Using this power supply is really important for to give me a second to actually see what the RPMs are settling at. All right, so there is 30,000. Now I'm going to bolt on a 33,000, which will hopefully not perform well because so far what I think I've figured out is that there's something bad about these Gorilla built 0802 33,000s. But you never know. I don't know. Maybe the 2G4 just wasn't up to the task of these more demanding motors. that would actually make a lot of sense, because I swear to God, when I fly these 33,000s, they make more power than the 30s and the 27s. So actually, I kind of do hope that we get a big-ass number from this. I will Nah, I don't need to retest that. Those two. What else do I need? 802. Oh, 802.8. Yeah, right. Okay, so I need to pull one of these. And then what's the last motor that we're going to check here? Beta FPV 802 23,000. Where the hell are those motors? 802 23,000. Where is that? Where's that motor at? I'm going to put this on motor 3, I think. Oh, come on, man. Come on, cooperate. There we go. Get in there, you bastard. There it is. Oh, come on. Now, there it is. Stop it! Stop! Yes. No! What are you doing? Thread, you jackass! Thank you. Just gotta talk shit, man. Yeah, I'm on infinite MAH. I'm on plugged into the mains MAH. Okay. Beta FPV 802 23,000. What motor is that? Where? Who in the what? In the who and the what? How did I have that motor to test? What? Where is it? Is it in here? Is it in here? I didn't know I had... Oh! It's in the... I know where it is. It's definitely not in here. Why am I still opening this box? I know where it is. It's in the box of stuff that Joshua sent me. Yeah! There it is. Right? Nope. Right? Yep. Ooh, and 1102s. Yeah. Yeah. 1102 22,000s, yo. Here we go. I noticed that, Kevin. Yeah, Chris puts a big old lipo in there. That's wild that you have to do that. I can't believe I'm seeing a little bit of voltage sag with this power supply. That's crazy to me, but I don't know. These rigs are, we've really built these rigs to just eat electricity, even the little ones, like, which is why the performance is so good, right? Like, it's a good problem to have. It means that we've found powertrains that really hammer. All right, let's get these guys plugged in here, and we'll get a little bit more data with 1.6s. Hopefully all these leads reach. The other reason that I'm not testing the smaller motors is that the smaller motors have short-ass battery leads on them, and if you try to put those on a 75mm frame, they won't reach. And I'll be goddamned if I'm going to desolder and resolder a whole bunch of longer leads onto 702s just to do some stupid-ass testing that you're never going to do an actual build with. You know what I mean? Like, no. Sorry. Ain't happening. Okay. There it is. I need to pull this HQ prop off. No, I'm not. We are going to test the HQ prop real quick. Let's see what RPM an HQ Ultralight 1.6 spins up to, and then we'll compare that to the Gem Fan. That'll be kind of cool. right? No? Yeah. Here we go. Motors. Motor direction. This, that, this. Motor 1 is wrong. Motor 2 is right. Motor 4 is wrong. Motor 3 has stopped spinning. What's your deal, Motor 3? Why have you given up on life altogether? There goes Motor 3. It is spinning the right direction. It is not happy with life, but oh, that reversed a bunch of the motors, didn't it? Yep. Motor 1 needs to be reversed, and Motor 4 needs to be reversed. Yeah, motors 1 and 4 need to be reversed. Hold on, I gotta go back in here. It doesn't remember. When you go back into the wizard, it deletes everything. Motor 1 and 4. And then stop, and then close, and alright, there we go. So, motor 3, let's see what it does. Whoa. Oh. 56,000. Jesus. That's the highest that we've seen. Alright, 56,000 with the Beta FPV 1.6. I'm going to quick swap it to the GemFan 1610, or not, because I remember these motors are really hard to take the propellers off of. I think the HQ props are slightly lower pitch than the GemFan. I could be wrong about that, though. All right, hold up. I'm going to struggle to get this prop off. Just have to wait. Holy hell, come on, man. Jesus. There we go, got it. All right, so 56,000. I think I almost saw 56,500, maybe. Now it's got a GemFan 1610 on it. Might as well throw the GemFans on the rest of these motors. There we go. And nope, that needs 1mm shaft motor. Half these motors are 1mm shaft, half of them are 1.5. This is infuriating. Okay, this is 1.5. All right, there we go. 4 motors are on. Let's give it power again. It's got 4 volts. Okay. I'm going to go right to motor 3. Whoop. Hold on. Come on, buddy. You can do it. What are you doing, motor 3? Live. What the hell? Motor 3 is shit its pants. Why are you having such a hard time? Go, spin, jackass. What's happening? Oh. Yeah, it got too hot. Sorry, that's my bad. There we go. 56,000. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, this AI was getting hot. Okay, let's do all 4. Motor 1, IGAO, 30,000 kV though. 49,000. 40, yeah, look at this. Same thing that happened with the 0702s. 33,000 kV motor here on motor 2. Ah, there we go. 52,000. Oh, now we're starting to figure some shit out. Motor 3 is a VCI that hit 56,000, I believe. Let's hit it again. Oh, nope. It's acting really weird. Let's go to motor 4, which is the Beta FPV low KV 802. 46,000. 46,000. Let's go back to motor 3, which is the 802.8. See if it wants to act right. No, it's being a total dick. Let's try again. No. What are you doing? Spin! Spin, you bastard! Spin! Hold on. Let's turn up the startup power here. It's probably already maxed. Of course it is. God damn it. Motor timing is set to medium. That's kind of great. Everything else looks fine. Motor timing, demag low. Power protection, ramp up. Avoid power spikes. Decrease acceleration. Interesting. Well. Let me do this. I'm going to spin all 4 motors up, really cool this thing down. Or nothing. Now it's going. I don't know how or why, but it's going now. So here we go. Oh, God, come on now. What the hell? It's acting so weird. I have to do this for some reason. There we go. 56,000. Yo! That is a big-ass number. But it's a big motor. 0802.8. That's an 0803. 27,000 kV versus 22,000 kV on the 1002. And yeah, the 802.8 is big enough where it cranked. 56. That's the biggest number we've seen. Damn. All right. That's pretty cool. Quick bit of myth busting on the 33,000 kV motor though. Look at that, 52,000 on the 33,000. I'm gonna pull the prop off of the 33, and we're gonna spin it up here on the X12. And I have a funny feeling that it's gonna turn more RPM. These 802 33s, I don't think they like that 2G4 for some weird ass reason. It shouldn't make sense with no propeller on. There's like no load. Why would it care? A 5 amp FET versus a 12 amp FET. That's a legitimate mystery to me. 0802 33,000 on the X12 kV test. Let's see. What's that? Motor 2. Motor 2. 60,000. Yeah, that makes much more sense. 60,000. Weird. Let me do something real quick, though. Let me just try this weird thing here. Motor 2, reverse it. Stop motors. Let me just see something here. No, it's the same. 60,000. Okay, great. Let me check one more time. Wizard. Start and spin. It's now reversed. Great. Stop. It's reversed from where it was a second ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. 60,000. Okay, so yeah. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Why? Also, it should be turning higher than 60. It should be up at like 62 or 3 or 4 or 5, but it's not. Don't really know why. Don't really care why either, because of this right here. It is. So I'm going to highlight the two of them, 30 and 33. This is all that matters. The 30,000 is turning 49,000 RPM. The 33 is going up to 52. So the 33s do make more power, and you can feel it in the air. This is wild. But this and then a jump at the highest kV is exactly what we're seeing on the 702s right here. Oops. Right? All these 702s are turning 64,000 until we get all the way up to 40,000 kV, where it has a tiny little bit more that it makes. So, yeah. What I think this means is that 0802s are the optimized motor for 1.6-inch props as long as the all-up weight is low. We've learned with the walk snail heavy fat boy rigs that when you load those optimized motors down with a whole bunch of extra weight, they overheat. And this makes total sense. Like 802s with 1.6-inch props feel really good. They really do feel right. I have to do one more test, though. I have to do just one more test. I'm dying to know what this Beta FPV 1102 will do. So real quick, let's just pop this one motor off of here, and I will put a brand new. All right, so these 33,000s are coming out of the penalty box. 1102, 22,000, right? Yep, 22,000. Okay, let's see if it can beat that 50. This will be kind of cool, because this will sort of tell us if 1102, if 1002 is where we can stop, or if we need to keep going all the way up to 1102. This will be really interesting. Plus, this is 22,000 kV, just like the RCinpower 1002. So, first thing I'm going to do is spin it up with no prop on to kind of confirm the kV that it's at, because we've really seen that these kVs are all over the goddamn place. And then, as long as its actual kV is somewhere near its rated kV, that will give us a nice, quick little hit of information that I'll talk about in a second. What we're trying to figure out here is how big is too big, basically, in terms of motor size. As we've continued to talk about ad nauseum, it all changes once the rig is actually up in the air, but still, this is good info. And this info will also help us out quite a bit with the thrust stand data that Rosser's about to give us. 42,000. Nope. It's higher. It's significantly higher kV than the RCinpower 1002. BFPV 1102 22,000. So yeah, look at this difference in kV. So that's why this 1102 feels like it has so much more power in the air, because it's a much higher kV. And if I copy and paste, no, the formula's there. I just need to put the voltage 4.0. Yeah, look at that. It's much closer to its rated kV. So this is now going to make a whole bunch of power, which is, I mean, fine. I wish these motor manufacturers could get their kVs a little bit better sorted, but hey. Just happy to have some other motor options. We can reverse engineer this stuff. All right, let's see what kind of power this thing makes. Motor 2... 52,000. Oh, buddy. That is wildly interesting. Okay. Hold on. That is crazy. Oh, Beta FPV, what are you doing? Oh, man. couple of people just went, what the fuck? Hold on. I might as well test it with the little 1210 propeller while I'm at it. This will be, I don't know what this is going to tell us, but this will be interesting nonetheless. Motor 3, right? No, motor 2. 64,000. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Let me just confirm something real quick here. Hold on. Let me make sure that this X12 is not turning higher numbers on everything. Motor 4. 64,000. Ah, shit. Well. Fuck. Wait, is that making... No, that's spinning the prop backwards. Okay, that's... Okay, good. Hold on. Motor direction. Wizard. Start and spin. I need to reverse motor 4. Stop motors. Stop. Okay. Now this will work. All right. I thought that sounded a little weird. 60,000. That's good. Yeah. Okay, good. What I just learned is that if you spin a propeller backwards, because of how much less efficient it is, it turns 4,000 extra RPM. Okay, good. I'm really glad that turned out that way. Let's talk about 10:02 versus 11:02 real quick, and then that's all I got for you. It's probably damn near 1 a.m. Yeah, it's 12:40. Okay, so check this out. In a loaded, okay, RCinpower 10:02, 22,000 kV, apparently. Beta FPV 11:02, 22,000 kV. No. I had these two lines. Actual kV that I'm seeing, 19,000 and 21,000. With the smaller propeller, the 1210, the 11:02 is able to get an extra 4,000 RPM. All right, kind of makes sense because it's spinning higher, right? It's actually a higher kV motor, but with a 1.6 inch prop, they're both sitting at 52,000, which I think means that they're maxed. The 11:02 can't crank any higher. Even though it's a higher kV motor, it can't push the 1.6 inch prop any harder than the 10:02 can. That's kind of crazy. These other higher numbers don't really matter because they're wound much higher, right? 27,500, 23,000, 30,000, right? So these don't really matter, but that's kind of crazy that, yeah. But again, this goes out the window as soon as you're in the real world and there's incoming air. On the thrust stand, static testing, the 11:02 can't push any harder than the 10:02. This could also be down to the thickness of the magnets, how good the flux ring is, the actual magnet material itself. But, yeah, in the air, the 11:02 does feel like it has a little bit more jam because it does. 19,000 kV versus 21,000 kV. Right? But yeah, that's kind of crazy. This is really cool shit right here. Unfortunately, this is so much of a higher kV though. 27,500. This 0802.8 in 22,000 kV would be super interesting to compare it to these two. And then we've got the 703 honorable mention at 23,500 kV. This is cool stuff right here. This is really cool stuff. Look at these three. 1, 2, 3. 703, 23,500 kV, and look, it's spinning 23,000 kV, but then look at that, 49,500 versus the 52,000. The 1002 and the 1102 have enough grunt to push this 1.6-inch prop significantly higher in RPM. So real quick, let's look at stator volume. That'll tell the end of the tail here. I think I know exactly what this is going to tell me. 0703 versus 1002. Yep. Versus 1102. Yeah, buddy. So there it is. The 0703 has drastically less volume than these two. And that's why, even though it's a slightly higher KV, it can't push. It doesn't have enough grunt to push that propeller through the air to crank up to that higher RPM. Yeah, that totally tracks. That totally makes sense. All right. Okay. So cool. I gotta find one of these Happy Model 802 19,000s. I don't know where the hell they are. I'll test that, and then that's it, man. We are all the way filled in. Why is there not? Oh no. Yeah, right. That doesn't matter. Yeah. Shit. Okay. I dig it. This will be yeah, like I said, cool. Steve Jobs says the max possible RPM in the air would be the RPM without a prop, right? Sorta, kinda, maybe, but not really. I mean, even just the weight of the propeller, if the propeller was 0 pitch and the blades were totally flat, the weight of the propeller itself is going to slow the motor down. So yeah, no prop on the motor, you're never going to get that RPM. Any extra weight is going to drag it down. But you're kind of thinking in the right direction. Actually, no. Max possible RPM in the air would be max possible RPM in the air, no matter what. Even when it's achieved its maximum speed, it's still having to push, so it's still going to be significantly lower. Yeah. Justmo says, do you know the lightest AIO that's worthwhile? Worthwhile is different to everyone. The 2G4 is the most reliable AIO ever. The new Mobula 6 2024 AIO is okay. The Air 65 AIO is okay. You got a direct side of the motors, which sucks balls. It's got an external receiver, which is kind of silly. So yeah, I don't know. Kevin Sumner says also the prop still has drag. It's rare, right? The drag of the actual blades themselves, even if the air is moving through at the same speed as the prop wants to pull it. Yep. Good call. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Yeah. Let's do this really quickly with a battery, just to show what a massive hit you take on a battery, and then we'll just because I said that I was going to do that, and then I forgot. So I'm going to test all 4 of these motors. This is a freshly charged, brand new 450 from Tiny Whoop. And tell me I didn't close beta flight. Oh my god, I closed beta flight. Oh, it launched quick this time. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. With a hard what's the smallest oh fuck it, whatever. Tiny Whoop 30,802 on a battery. Let's see what it does. Wait, is it going to spin the right direction? Is it spinning the... No, it's not. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Great. Now it's spinning the right direction. Right? Yep. Let's see. 52,000. 52,000, 30,000 kV motor. Where is it? Wait. Oh, it's turning a little bit more. Hold on. Let me look at the sag. So the battery is at 4.2 right now. What is it? Motor 1? I'll be damned. It only sagged down to 4.95. It was dropping fast though. It sagged down to 4. To like no 3.95. Sorry, 3.95. I just confused the shit out of myself. That's super impressive. That is a absolutely brand new 450 though. If I charge and discharge this, I don't have any more 450s. If I charge and discharge this 10 times, I bet you it would sag down to like where we were at, which is 3.8 on the power supply. That's pretty impressive though. I'm kind of blown away by that. I wish I had any other batteries charged. All I have is 2. We're not flying tonight. I'm sorry guys if you were looking forward to me flying. It is just way too late and I am way too hungry. Thanks for hanging, friends. This has been wildly interesting to me. Hopefully somewhat interesting to you as well. Back to regularly scheduled non-spreadsheet content in the future. Love you guys. Bye. CiottiFPV.com to support me. I need your help. A bunch of people dropped off Patreon, so check your if you don't have Patreon set on auto renew and you want to still be on Patreon, you might be not on there, so check it for me. And if you're not on my Patreon, join it. What are you doing? Come on, man. I need your help. Help me. Help me help you. Love you guys. Bye.